So right now, one of the best hand cannons in the game is available to acquire, but it requires a hell of a lot of Gambit, and I mean a lot. I've seen people go through entire infamy resets without getting one of these hand cannons, and that is actually the hand cannon bottom dollar. This is a 120 round per minute hand cannon present in the energy slot with a ton of random rolls. Today, guys, we're going to be diving into all of these rolls. There will be timestamps for each roll we go over, as there was a lot of perk combinations I wanted to narrow down. What is the best traits here? Is it surplus? Is it explosive payload, opening shot, rangefinder, high impact reserves? A ton of options present on this hand cannon that we're going to be diving into today. Now, before we get into the review, we do have a sponsorship. That's right, guys. Raid Shadow Legends is back again sponsoring today's video. This is a turn-based strategy MMO with over 500 champions and artifacts to mix and match with to build that perfect champion team. There's dungeons, campaign battles, PvP arena matches, and nearly 1 million active players per day. With over 25 million downloads of this game and 250,000 clans created, there are so many ways to connect with other players playing Raid. On top of that, Raid has a Discord with over 100,000 players to connect with. And if you really want to put your team to the test, Doom Towers is one of the best in-game experiences with over 120 floors, secret challenges, as well as 12 new bosses. Right now, for new players, for those that sign up with the link down below, you get 50,000 silver, 50 gems, a clan boss key, 5 mystery shards, a daily XP booster, as well as the free champion executioner. All these rewards will be available in your inbox inside of Raid. You can download Raid today, guys, from the link below or the QR code on your screen. Again, big shout out to Raid for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the review. Now, our first role for the day that I wanted to try out is kind of more of your consistent role. This is actually Les's role right here. It comes with a combination of surplus as well as explosive payload. Now, this is the first time I've ever played with a 120 round per minute hand cannon with the perk surplus. Surplus actually increases handling, reload speed, as well as stability for each fully charged ability. It's actually a noticeable difference. This 120 feels like a 140 in terms of snappiness as well as stability. And again, here recently, hand cannons was one of the weapons that got targeted in that recoil nerf for mouse and keyboard. Now, the nerf isn't like terrible or anything. It's not like my hand cannon is now unusable. I would say for the most part, 120s still feel like 120s. They have some funky recoil as well as terrible reload speed, which could get you in a bind in the middle of a gunfight. Surplus eliminates all those issues. Stability problems, handling problems, reload problems, all of it gone with a single perk. And if you are rocking high neutral game stats, which I definitely suggest in this sandbox, especially with stasis being as good as it is, you'll always have surplus available. At least 1 to 2 of your abilities will be. Now, as far as explosive payload goes, similar to time payload, there is some funky hit registration when it comes to payload perks. Because there's an actual physical projectile, we've talked about this in the past, there are many times that shots land when it has no business landing. And that was very apparent when using this role right here. Hands down, this has got to be one of the most consistent 120s I have ever experienced, and definitely one of the best roles. However, is it the role to go with? Which takes us to role number 2. This role right here is 2-tap city. 2-tap! And the beautiful thing about 2-taps, guys, on a 120 round per minute hand cannon, it kills so fast. 0.5 seconds is all that's necessary to get 2 shots out. Now, you notice I'm actually priming my weapon down, and I'm doing this purposely so I can get to the final 2 rounds of my weapon, because this role comes with high impact reserves. Essentially, rounds at the end of the magazine deal more damage. Now, it ramps up about halfway down into the magazine, but substantially gets more powerful in those final rounds. More specifically, in the final 2 rounds. You see, the second to the final round hits 94 damage, and then the final round hits 96 for a total of 190 damage. Essentially, you can 2-tap Guardians, technically at 5 resilience or less, but knowing Bungie, there's some rounding here, and it's probably 4 resilience. Regardless, though, this is 2-tap city without anything. No buffs, no empowering rifts, no rampage, no kill clip, no nothing. This is just bottom dollar, all on its own, by simply proccing this weapon down to the final 2 rounds. Now, is this strategy worth doing inside of, say, Trials of Osiris? We're getting that pick is so important. Absolutely. This is going to be the role I bring into elimination. And normally, high impact reserves would put us in a bind. Sure, we'll get the kill, but what about the rest of the engagements? What if I got 2 or 3 opponents directly in front of me? I kill one of them, but now I have no rounds in my magazine. What am I going to do here? Now, this particular role didn't have it, but the 2 best traits here to combine with high impact reserves, subsistence or slide shot, and preferably slide shot. Not that subsistence is bad, but it does hurt your reserves. And on top of that, in order to get subsistence to give you 2 rounds back on kill, you have to get your magazine size up to 10, meaning you're going to have to either rock a backup mag or a magazine perk there in order to elevate that mag size. But this is where slide shot comes in. Essentially, just sliding reloads your weapon by 2 rounds. On top of that, it gives you a bump there to both range and stability. So the scenario, you've got 2 opponents in front of you. You get the 2 tap off on one of them, but the other opponent is immediately collapsing on you. Simply slide, proc slide shot, auto reload 2 rounds into the magazine. But wait, it's the final 2 rounds yet again, thus resulting in high impact reserves being procced all over. Now you got 2 tap king back and a bump there in range and stability. You see how nasty this is? This is by far my favorite role in terms of just being a wild card role to just surprise people. They are not expecting this. Now, what can screw you up is somebody rocking high resilience because you're expecting the 2 tap and then suddenly that man in front of you lives. So it's not the say all end all, but for those opponents that are rocking mid resilience or less, oh yeah, it's nasty. Moving on to role number 3, a very basic role on a 120, but still so very much appreciated. Rampage is arguably one of the best perks for 6v6 on a 120 round per minute hand cannon. It throws our damage up at just 1 stack of Rampage to 99 damage per crit, allowing for 2 taps on Guardians, 8 to 9 resilience or less. That's this particular role right here, combined with Rangefinder for that bump there in range. Actually, a pretty good role. I have this exact same role on True Prophecy, and I think I like the way Bottom Dollar handled itself more. Again, I've said it in the past, if Duke was not Sunset, it would be king of 120, simply because it doesn't feel like a 120. True Prophecy, which has this exact same role you see here in front of you, is every bit as lethal as this Bottom Dollar, but it feels like those sluggish, super recoily 120s. Bottom Dollar makes up for it. Now, is Rangefinder really the way to go here with Rampage? It's nice, but listen, guys, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Surplus is just so damn good. I played with a quick draw Bottom Dollar. We even played with a rapid hit Bottom Dollar that we're about to get into. I would say with any of the damage perks, but especially Rampage, Surplus all day long. The fact that you can get that bump there in stability initially in a gunfight, on top of that increase in handling. Yes, Rampage is a great perk. I love it on 120s, but you can make it even better, even nastier if you combine it with a perk to just enable it to be more consistent. I think Surplus does it better than any other perk in that column. The only other perk that I might choose over Surplus, and I mean might, would either be Slide Shot or Killing Wind, and that would be specifically for 6v6, just for dealing with multiple targets at a time. Kill some opponents here, run to the next spawn, you get the picture. And Slide Shot, again, really does help with that stability, but understand it's a very small window in which Slide Shot is actually procced. Yes, it auto reloads the weapon by 2 rounds, but in terms of that bump there in stability and range, the duration in which it helps you is literally during your slide and barely a half a second after. Again, small window to take advantage of that increase in stability. Now, will the gunfight be over by the time you're done with your slide? Perhaps. Personally, though, I like to just be safe about it and just have a perk help me at all times, disregarding what I have to do mid-gunfight to activate. Hell, guys, it's hard enough just trying to land some crits. Then you start to include sliding and all kinds of other things. Not saying you can't do it, but obviously it's easier not having to worry about it, which takes us to role number 4. This role was just kind of our nuttier role. More or less, I wanted to know, what if I combine opening shot with rangefinder? Well, you get some crazy range, but that's about it. Give or take somewhere around 47 meters. It's quite a big bump. Is it necessary? Depends on how you're using your hand cannon. I'm not gonna disregard this one, simply because there is someone out there who's got the recovery max on their Warlock, who's sitting in an empowering rift right now with their 120 round per minute hand cannon, and they don't give a damn about any other perk. They want the most range possible on their hand cannon so they can use it like a scout rifle. Opening shot, rangefinder. Well, there you go. You got a scout rifle in hand cannon form. I did use a quick draw roll though in combination with opening shot. I found that to be pretty consistent, considering that opening shot really does benefit you on that initial shot by increasing achieving that accuracy, it's quite nice. Like, search your soul right now and ask yourself, am I a good shot? Do I find myself missing majority of my shots or maybe just half of my shots? If both of those answers are true, may I introduce you to opening shot? Fellas, my shot is not exactly good. I mean, it's all right. I have my moments, but there are a lot of times I just straight up miss. Which is why I like opening shot, baby. Opening shot says, hey, I got you, but just for this one shot. The rest is up to you. And sometimes that's all I need. I just need to get it in. Just one, and I'll take it from there. And that's normally where most of our inaccuracies come from, the beginning of the gunfight. And considering that this is a high impact weapon, the damage you do, as well as the combining flinch of being an aggressive frame hand cannon, hell, sometimes just landing the first shot will enable you to win because your enemy is having to deal with so much recoil and flinch. I've had a lot of success with opening shot on other weapons. My favorite role on Waking Vigil back in the day, opening shot. It allowed me to land that first crit at the beginning of every gunfight. It found the target for me multiple times, and Bottom Dollar here essentially does the exact same thing. However, like I said in the previous role we just looked at with Rampage, I think Surplus and opening shot would be an excellent combination to go with all day long, especially for my controller players. For my controller players that are just looking for a hand cannon to land consistent shots, I think opening shot could do that for you. Explosive players, for my players that feel confident in their shot, sure, go right ahead. You want some extra flinch to dish out against your enemies? By all means. But for my players that need just a little bit of help, opening shot is the perk for you. Which takes us to the final role in this review. My God, there's been a ton of roles we've looked over, but our fifth and final role is actually this multi-kill clip role. Essentially, multi-kill clip states that reloading grants increased damage based on the number of rapid kills made beforehand. Can stack all the way up to ×3. Realistically though, ×1 is all you're going to actually be experiencing inside of Crucible. Realistically, which is why the damage numbers I'm giving you is just for ×1. This elevates our damage from 90 per crit to 105 per crit and 50 damage per body to 59. Now this is not enough damage to 2-tap 1 crit 1 body, but it is enough damage to 2 crit, even max resilience guardians. Now before we jump up and crucify multi-kill clip, understand that kill clip couldn't even 1 crit 1 body either, even on 120s. Plus there is some things about multi-kill clip that I like more than kill clip. Kill clip is nice because it offers that substantial amount of damage up front at around a whopping 33%, whereas multi-kill clip at 1 stack offers simply a 70% increase there in damage at just 1 stack. Obviously it's more beneficial inside of PvE because getting 3 stacks is not nearly as difficult as it is inside of PvP. But what makes multi-kill clip to me more beneficial is the fact that you can chain kill after kill reload into itself without actually resulting in your perk going away. Kill clip, when you get a kill, you actually have to stop and pause if you already had kill clip procced and time your reload around when kill clip is running out. It does not allow you to reproc on itself. Multi-kill clip though allows you to refresh that buff, which is why I find it to be more beneficial here. Considering there is no overwhelming difference between kill clip and multi-kill clip here on this 120, if kill clip could have been able to 1 crit 1 body, sure, I would have said all day long that was the trait to go with, but it can't, and neither can multi-kill clip. They're both in the same scenario where they have to land 2 crits, and in this scenario I think multi-kill clip is a fantastic perk. Now this particular role came with rapid hits, which was nice, but again, similar scenario as before, I found that I was missing surplus. Good lord, it's like I just joined the church of surplus. But everything that rapid hit offered, I just felt like surplus just did it better. Now I do think both of those in combination with multi-kill clip is fantastic, and of course feeding frenzy with multi-kill clip is great for PvE. So guys, that is our review there for Bottom Dollar. I know we went over a lot of roles. Big shout out to everyone in today's video, Ibra, Blood, as well as Les. There was a lot of different roles I wanted to dive into because Bottom Dollar has so many traits. And I know we didn't really get tied up into PvE. Obviously there's some great traits for PvE, whether it's Disruption Break, Dragonfly, Demolitionist, or just one of the damage dealing perks, as well as Wellspring or Thresh. I think whatever the role is that drops for you is going to be a good role if you can get one to drop for you, and it's purely based on RNG. However, I would suggest for those that are actually going after this weapon inside of Gambit to make sure you put on that prosperity perk on your ghosts. This will enable you to get a drop, or at least increase the likelihood of getting a drop, which might be a Bottom Dollar. So fellas, good luck. This is a fantastic weapon, super deadly inside of Crucible, and definitely will be one of the best 120s for a very, very long time. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.